The long, sad saga starting Labor Day weekend 2014 when Catherine Hoggle tells her ex-husband Troy Turner that she dropped their then 2- and 3-year-old children, Sarah and Jacob, off at a daycare. But she can't tell Turner where. They go searching together, but when they stop at a Germantown Chick-fil-A, Hoggle, caught on security cameras, slips out the back door and goes missing herself. Days later, she's caught on another security camera in a nearby building. She is arrested, but won't tell police what happened to the children.
At one point, she said they were safe with someone.
Police search wooded areas and waterways, but find no sign of Jacob and Sarah. Hoggle's charged with child neglect. In 2015, Hoggle is diagnosed with schizophrenia and ruled incompetent to stand trial, committed to a state psychiatric hospital. In 2017, prosecutors indict her on 2 counts of murder. She is again ruled incompetent. In the years that follow, multiple hearings result in the same rulings, each time the children's father sharing his outrage.
She's definitely competent to stand trial, and she should be in jail, not in a hospital.
Last year, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children releasing these age-progressed images of what the children might look like today, and their father, Troy Turner, says he has never given up hope, even though police and prosecutors believe Hoggle murdered those children nearly 11 years ago.
We're just trying to find the truth of what happened and bring my babies home either way.
Over the welfare of 2 missing children from the Clarksburg area of Montgomery County. Jacob Hoggle, who's age 2, his sister Sarah, who's age 3, as well as their mother, Catherine Hoggle, who is missing as well. Detectives and patrol officers have been working this case diligently since that time through the night. In fact, detectives from all 4 of our major detective divisions are working this case jointly right now. Patrol officers, again, have been out all night helping us locate them. We're now asking the public's assistance in doing the same.
Police say they have surveillance video showing 27-year-old Catherine Hoggle leaving a Chick-fil-A at a Germantown transit center. The most recent evidence is another video showing Hoggle at a Harris Teeter, not far from here, in fact, at about 4:40 in the morning yesterday without her children, which is also concerning. But as you know, Hoggle, who has been diagnosed as having paranoid schizophrenia, and her 2 children, Jacob and Sarah, ages 2 and 3, went missing one by one over a 2-day period. When her husband confronted her about the children, she ran off and has not been seen since. Adding to the concern here is that there have been absolutely no trace of little Sarah and Jacob. No tips, no leads, no evidence to indicate whether they are dead or alive.
The children's father says he doesn't believe she would harm them.
I think that she probably, for some reason, got scared. And in fact, I believe it's probably the opposite of wanting to hurt him. I believe in some way she feels like she's protecting him.
Tonight, police are releasing this video of Catherine Hoggle in the Germantown Chick-fil-A. It was taken moments before she walked away Monday, just after Troy realized that Catherine had taken their 2-year-old son Jacob and 3-year-old daughter Sarah somewhere and wouldn't say where.
We've had no sightings whatsoever. We have not picked them up in any video footage that's been supplied to us.
But police revealed today that Catherine herself has been spotted, first at this Darnestown Harris Teeter, and then early yesterday, walking along 118 not far from the Chick-fil-A. She was alone.
That deeply concerns me.
There is no area too quiet or remote as this search gains urgency with each passing hour.
It's getting more and more grave as we go on.
In a plea for help from the public, Montgomery County Police today joined by Randy Hoggle.
I don't usually cry, so I apologize.
Father of 27-year-old Catherine Hoggle and grandfather of 2-year-old Jacob and 3-year-old Sarah, who he desperately wants to come home and experience life.
The first kiss, the first homecoming, the last prom, and a full life.
Randy Hoggle says Catherine has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and she has not been taking her medication.
We know, Catherine, this is not you, and this is not who you're about and what you do.
There's a lot of anxiety. There's some hope, too.
Police have been searching and working around the clock, while all a father can do is wait and worry.
And this is a plea to my daughter to come home and have help.
Montgomery County Police detectives promise to continue their 24/7 search throughout the weekend and beyond.
We're concerned As every day that goes by, we grow more concerned.
ABC 7 News cameras were there exclusively as police arrested Catherine Hoggle on child neglect charges Friday night.
We can't say why she has not been forthcoming, but she has not been.
We were investigating this as a missing persons case. We are now beginning to build a homicide case against Catherine Hoggle.
For a week now, there's been a frantic search for two of Hoggle's children, 3-year-old Sarah and 2-year-old Jacob.
In your mind, are they still alive?
Yes, that's why I'm standing here.
Troy Turner, the children's father, and Hoggle's common-law husband, has organized several citizen searches in Germantown and elsewhere.
When you have dogs walking around, in the woods, you're not looking for people you think are alive.
Hoggle has refused to say where the children are.
She stated that Jacob and Sarah were together. At one point, she said they were safe with someone.
She even drove with detectives to a Germantown playground, where she indicated they were. She told investigators the youngsters were with a friend named Aaron. Both were false leads.
I think she probably feels like something's happening where she's protecting them, and obviously that's not the case.
Our goal is to bring home Jacob and Sarah as quick as possible.
Yet another search, this time near the Maryland Soccerplex. Officers scoured dense brush with no luck. To date, police have cleared 14,000 acres across Clarksburg, Darnestown, and Germantown, but much more land remains.
Very frustrating, very upsetting.
The children's aunt distressed because Catherine Hoggle, arrested late Friday, has remained mum, providing detectives with no leads.
These things have taken over her mind, her body, her spirit. Her spirit has been taken over, and there's no Catherine in there at all. I don't know if Catherine will ever be back.
Sarah and Jacob Hoggle have been missing for nearly 2 months. Their mother, Catherine, is locked in a psychiatric prison in connection with their disappearance. And yet, the children's father, Troy Turner, has never given up hope they're alive.
Oh, no, I believe that. Period. Yeah, if I didn't, I wouldn't be standing here, I'd be somewhere else broken down.
So when Catherine Hoggle called him and her own mother, Lindsay, over the weekend to say the children are alive and she is ready to lead police to them, Turner rushed to tell detectives and prosecutors.
I think she knew where they were. I think she knows where she thinks they are.
So today, in district court with Catherine Hoggle in the courtroom, State's Attorney John McCarthy asked a judge to allow Hoggle under tight guard to show police where she left the children. In response, Hoggle's attorney said Catherine does not want to help police and that she is far too mentally ill to make such a decision anyway.
To think that she is in a position where she would be able to render any meaningful assistance or non-assistance just logically makes no sense given the circumstances of this case.
And so the judge denied McCarthy's request and sent Hoggle back for treatment and evaluation. Troy Turner's hopes dashed.
I would have liked to have had my say.
State's Attorney John McCarthy says his next step will likely be to seek an indictment for murder.
That is something that is under consideration. I think it's part of our ongoing investigation.
2 months into his children's disappearance, and Troy Turner's mission is unwavering.
It's not over yet, My babies are still out there. We still have to find them.
1 year ago, 2 children in Montgomery County vanished. There's been no sign of Sarah and Jacob Hoggle since. But their mother remains in custody. Tonight, we're hearing a heartfelt message from their father. He's still keeping his hopes alive. Kevin Lewis, live now with what the father is saying tonight. Kevin, tell us about it.
Hi there, Leon. Sarah and Jacob Hoggle spent their final afternoon at this Clarksburg park before police say their mother, Catherine Hoggle, kidnapped them. In the 12 months since, family members have printed a number of flyers, led dozens of searches, even hired a private investigator, but all to no avail.
No one is anywhere near giving up or quitting on my kids, though, and we're going to continue to look for them.
365 days of emotional upheaval, and Troy Turner remains devoted to finding his children, Sarah and Jacob Hoggle. Police have implicated Turner's estranged wife, Catherine Hoggle, with their disappearance. The 28-year-old is currently committed to a Jessup, Maryland psychiatric hospital. A judge has banned detectives from speaking with her.
She is very cooperative with the treatment plan, is exercising, and is being responsible.
Catherine, who suffers from schizophrenia, talks with her mother daily.
Our conversations, I think, are good. I'm very hopeful, but she is very clear that she was aware of what she was doing a year ago today. I think she was too, and we've agreed on that.
During a recent telephone call, Catherine specifically asked to speak with Turner.
It wasn't a real productive conversation. It just started out with her just talking to me about some small talk, me basically stating that I had no interest in small talk.
Police have led a number of searches on both land and water. Investigators emphasize that if Catherine Hoggle spoke up, this tragic mystery would end for good.
She's definitely competent to stand trial, and she should be in jail, not in a hospital.
Troy Turner is convinced Catherine Hoggle harmed his young children, Sarah and Jacob, and that she is now pretending to be mentally unstable.
It's kind of like, you know, if I hurt my leg, yes, my knee may really be blown out. When it starts to feel better, if I still limp around, am I faking?
Turner claims Hoggle has vividly described the potential sentence she faces and even slipped into a depression during the holidays. He says that's proof of her sanity. Hoggle's attorney disagrees.
I need to be clear about this. There is more to competency than simply being able to say, who are your lawyers? What does the judge do? Are you in a hospital or are you in a prison?
Today in court, prosecutors suggested a new independent doctor meet with Hoggle, contending she's formed a, quote, therapeutic alliance with her current team of psychiatrists.
A lot of it had to do with the fact that there were conclusions reached in the report that we read that seemed to be at odds with information we got from our own collateral sources.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Hoggle's attorney dodged a number of questions, including what coaching he has provided, plus who's footing the mounting legal bill.
She has flat out told me that Belson is advising her to stay incompetent and telling her she needs to be incompetent. I mean, as far as who's paying him, I don't know. I can tell you every 60 days he's getting free publicity, though.
A Montgomery County judge determined Catherine Hoggle, who suffers from paranoia, delusions, schizophrenia, and anxiety, is unrestorable. Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy said today's decision deprives his office of access to Hoggle's medical records moving forward.
We won't get those evaluations anymore. We will not know how she is progressing because she has HIPAA rights. She has privacy rights that attend to her medical records.
If Hoggle becomes restored and in turn released from the psychiatric hospital, prosecutors would be able to charge her again. No double jeopardy. Troy Turner is Sarah and Jacob's father. He firmly believes Hoggle is mentally ill, but putting on an act when it comes to being incompetent. Turner went on to say he thinks the staff at Clifton T. Perkins Hospital in Jessup, Maryland, are the ones who are incompetent. That's where Hoggle is being held.
She could be right next door to you and your kids very soon. I give it within a year probably, because it's now the charges are dropped. She's going to have the willingness to get better.
David Felsen is Hoggle's defense attorney.
If she becomes competent, Mr. McCarthy said they're going to recharge her. If she does not become competent, she's going to remain a danger to herself or to the community, and she's going to stay detained.
Now, prosecutors contend there is ample evidence that Catherine Hoggle is not only competent, but scheming. As for Troy Turner, he said he does not blame the judge, but rather the system and Maryland state law.
On the day after, the morning after Sarah was taken, Jacob was gone the night before, Sarah was gone that day. Troy took her to a group therapy session. And at that point in time, she made a comment to a woman that was in those therapy sessions with her that she had strangled her children. We had not said that before. That was not relevant to competency. It was relevant to public safety. It was relevant to her release here today, and that's why it was brought up.
This is a new twist in this case. Catherine Hoggle is the mom accused of killing her own two children, a 3-year-old Sarah and 2-year-old Jacob, and that was in 2014. Now, 3 years later, she was indicted on murder for the first time, but she was found mentally incompetent to stand trial and committed to a psychiatric facility until her release just last month.
Within days, a grand jury convened and Hoggle was re-indicted on 2 murder charges. Our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell has been following this case since it started more than a decade ago. He has today's update.
Catherine Hoggle is once again facing charges that she murdered her 2 young children, Jacob and Sarah, nearly 11 years ago. Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy winning an indictment last week after learning that Hoggle had been released from a state mental hospital. She was arrested at a group home on the Eastern Shore Friday. Hoggle was to have a bond review hearing today at the Montgomery County Circuit Court, but at the last second, that hearing postponed until tomorrow. Hoggle's attorney calling these new charges outrageous.
Every doctor determined that she was incompetent. Even when the state asked for their own doctor, that doctor said that she was incompetent. I don't think anything has changed.
The long, sad saga starting Labor Day weekend 2014 when Catherine Hoggle tells her ex-husband Troy Turner that she dropped their then 2- and 3-year-old children, Sarah and Jacob, off at a daycare. But she can't tell Turner where. They go searching together, but when they stop at a Germantown Chick-fil-A, Hoggle, caught on security cameras, slips out the back door and goes missing herself. Days later, she's caught on another security camera in a nearby building. She is arrested, but won't tell police what happened to the children.
At one point, she said they were safe with someone.
Police search wooded areas and waterways, but find no sign of Jacob and Sarah. Hoggle's charged with child neglect. In 2015, Hoggle is diagnosed with schizophrenia and ruled incompetent to stand trial, committed to a state psychiatric hospital. In 2017, prosecutors indict her on 2 counts of murder. She is again ruled incompetent. In the years that follow, multiple hearings result in the same rulings, each time the children's father sharing his outrage.
She's definitely competent to stand trial, and she should be in jail, not in the hospital.
Last year, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children releasing these age-progressed images of what the children might look like today, and their father, Troy Turner, says he has never given up hope, even though police and prosecutors believe Hoggle murdered those children nearly 11 years ago.
We're just trying to find the truth of what happened and bring my babies home either way.